Okay, good evening, friends. So today the topic is selection of the research topic. So I develop all these slides from my experience. So I have nothing I will take from the books. It's all from experience. So first of all, the question is that how the researcher decided their topic. So I ask many researchers, why you take this topic? So whenever researcher come to me and we are discussing, it is a common question that how you decide the topic, why you selected your topic of PhD or a research. So I found that there are 10 important factors I found which are influencing 90% of the researchers in selecting their topics. Number one, most of the researchers know that the data is very important for research. So they do that research where data is easily available. So data availability is one of the important factor. Second, most of the time, guide, whatever guide suggests, they take the topic according to the guide. And the problem is that if guide is obsolete, your topic is also obsolete, right? So this is the major problem with the topics which are allocated by the guides. If guide is not updated, your topic will not be updated. This is a limitation. Third, personal life experiences. I know many scholars who did job for 1 year in bank, 2 year in insurance, like that. So they have a tendency to take the topic on banking, on insurance. So they have feeling that we are having experience, we are having our links in banks, insurance, sales, whatever be. So we can collect the data easily from there. So sometimes the personal life experiences motivates them to take the topic. Then peer influence. Most of the ladies, female scholars, they decided the topic uh, which is influenced by their husband. Like for example, their husband are working in banking sector, so they will select the topic on banking. If their husband is working in let's say IT sector, so they will take the topic on IT sector. Reason is very simple because data collection comes from there. So this could be one of the reason. Job market prospect. I know that if some new area is coming, everybody start doing research in that topic. I remember when the concept like big data came into the market, so most of the researchers start taking research on big data. When derivatives comes in the market, most of the researchers took derivatives for research. So they think that our job prospect will improve. And you may not believe, many researcher I found who downloaded the thesis from Shodh Ganga, or they have the photocopy of any thesis, and they ask me, can I take this topic and replicate this existing thesis in our PhD? मतलब जो बनी बनाई thesis है उसी में थोड़ा चेंज करके वो उसी पे टॉपिक ले लेते हैं. Very common practice in India. So they say that this is our base thesis. This thesis from where we are taking all these ideas is the base thesis. So this is the one of the blunder mistake I found done by the researchers. Then financial limitation means they don't want to spend money. So wherever which topic is easily available, they will do that. Sometimes they feel about the current trends, the publication potential, whether publication potential is there or not, is or doing. So I am not saying that all these factors are wrong. Some factors are good, like publication potential must be seen, like current trends is important, job market prospect is important, but these are total factors which we found from research and discussion with other factors, other scholars, how they decide their PhD topic or research topics. In one of the paper, I found these construct. 14 construct is provided by the research, that these are the constructs or factors behind the selection of a research topic. Now, my suggestion on the research paper is that, so select a topic that interests you. You have an interest in that topic, because if the topic attracts you, it may attract other also. Number one, and see yourself the master of the topic, because if you selected any topic for research, you are going to spend next 5 years on that topic. After 5 years, 3 years or 5 years, you will be the master, because doctorate means master of that topic. And imagine that what will be your the market value if you are the master of the topic. आपकी मार्केट में वैल्यू क्या होगी अगर आपकी ब्रांडिंग उस टॉपिक के एज एन एक्सपर्ट हो जाए. सो थिंक ऑन दैट. And do you think you can do consulting on the topic, or you can start up begin a startup on the topic? So all these issues you have to think. Now, my suggestion is that topic, whenever you going to decide, or in the process of deciding a research topic, so that topic must be a multi-bagger topic. What is the meaning of multi-bagger topic? Which gives you everything: good job, good money, and good reputation in the market. So that is called multi-bagger. This word we take from the stock market. Multi-baggers are those stocks. If you invest in these stocks, you will get 10 times returns. Similarly, in research, if you have some multi-bagger topic, you will have 10 times, 100 times returns. So a topic which makes you multimillionaire, and like I'm giving you some example, Dr. Parsuruman decided to do research on service quality in 1985. Today, Dr. Parsuruman is earning 1 lakh rupees per day. So service quality was a multi-bagger topic for Dr. Parsuruman. Damodaran, Professor Damodaran, he's a well-known professor on valuation. Dr. C.K. Prahlad, he gave the concept of bottom of the pyramid, and now he's a no more, but the work done by Dr. C.K. Prahlad is excellent. So they find out some topic, and that topic make them world famous. So Barron and Canning gave the concept of mediation and moderation. So these are just few examples. So these are the topics made these person world famous. So that topic. So in the complete session, we will discuss that how we can decide how to take the multi-bagger. Okay. Now, when I did research on PhD, so I found that there are some contributions of research. Internet is actually the outcome of research. Google, the Larry and Sergey, were doing their PhD on search engines, and later they founded Google. So Google itself is the outcome of a PhD thesis. So Larry and Sergey were PhD students at Stanford when they studied Google. Similarly, Facebook is a outcome of the research. So most industries related to electronic engineering can be related to PhD. So all these things I came after long research. So there are many companies. These are the companies like SlideShare were co-founded by Rasmi Shina, who has a PhD in cognitive neuropsychology. So similarly, ThyroCare is the Indian company and is the outcome of the PhD done in thyroid. So from the research, I found that all the companies which you have seen in this PhD, in this slide are the outcome of the research and research topics. So some of the companies are the outcome of the PhD research work, research projects. So now the new concept is that research is not only for publication. Research will give you multiple returns. So I found that in some of the universities, they are working on the concept like from PhD to startup, start me up, then innovation in mind, startup pave the way for PhD holders. So these are some of the punchlines which is connecting the research topics with the outcome. Now, so one of the practice which I want you to do if you want to find out a research topic, so I'm giving you the answer. How to find out a good research topic. Number one, this is the step number one. Some of you may be in marketing, psychology, HR, medical science, health science. So all of you belong to different areas. So first of all, you have to find out any three best journals in your area. So just find out any three best journal, their editors and their reviewers. And if you find out any website, the name of the editor is mentioned there. Now, once you identify the three journals, find out the title of their latest issues, what they are publishing in the current issues. Now, for example, I'm showing you one example. So I downloaded the ABDC list of journals. So you can also freely download this. In this list, this is ABDC list of journals. We have A star journals, which are considered to be the best. So I want to find out a journal on, let's say, marketing. So I will write our area marketing. Find all. So the Academy of Marketing Study Journal, this is category B. So similarly, I can go to the next. This is C category. Find next. And this is also C category. A category. Asian Journal of Marketing, C category. I just want to find out any A star category journal. Canadian Journal of C category. So European Journal of Marketing is A star. So let's say I decided to visit this journal for my topic selection. European Journal of Marketing, published by Emerald, and it is a A-star journal. So I will just copy this journal, go to the Google, searching this journal, coming, opening the website. So first of all, I want to find out the latest issue. So I think the latest issue is this volume 15, issue 13, or issue 5. It is published in 2024. So let me open this. Now in this issue, the topic I am going to see. So I found that they are publishing on brand heritage. So the keyword is brand heritage. So this could be our topic. Similarly, and if you want to read in detail, you can just click on that. The abstract will open. You can read the abstract if you want to go in much detail. Social purpose branding approaches and a topology of how brand engage with social purpose. So this paper is talking about linkage between brand engagement with social purpose. Then the next topic is building employee commitment through internal branding, a meta-analytic approach. Okay. Consumer. So one thing which I observe, that topic number 3, topic number 2, and topic number 1, all the three is having one common thing is brand. So it means the brand could be a new area of my research. So they are talking about brand heritage. They are talking about. So this is the process you have to follow with all the three top class journals. Similarly, SEO activism. So SEO activism is one of the keyword which I found. So every research topic will give you a new idea. Double-edged sword of envy, effect of envy type, right? So some new concept. Okay. So after just looking at the topics, you have to select any one topic. This is just a simple exercise. Now, my point is that you have to do this exercise with three journals, read the title of the latest issues, shortlist best 10 published research papers. This is your choice. Sometimes what happens, I select brand heritage, I select brand engagement. So any 10 topics you can find out and then discuss with experts and select the best out of the 10. So this is one practice we usually do for selecting the research topics. So whenever somebody come to me and say that, sir, give me some topic, good topic. So normally we do this exercise. And after finding out the best three journals in that area and looking at the research paper title from the last three issues, we decided the best of the topic to the candidate. So this is the common practice we are doing for different scholars. So whenever somebody asks me, sir, suggest some good topic to me for me. So this is the exercise we do. Number two, we find out the industry experts and academic expert in our area. Like for example, if somebody want to do research in hospitality or photo sector, so we have to find out that who are the main authors, famous authors in this area, or who are the top hotel industry experts from the hotel sector. And if you go to the LinkedIn and you just type the expert in hotel industry, you can find out many. So first, the simple session is identify the experts, top professor and top industry expert in the area. Talk to them. I know that it is very difficult to talk to them, but you can send request on LinkedIn, Facebook, because most famous personalities are available in any of the one. They may be available on LinkedIn, they may be available on Facebook, or at least they are available on Twitter. So in these three places, the chances are very high that you can catch them. So develop contact with them, write mail to them and ask their advice on the new research topics. Request them to be your co-authors. Convince them that you are committed. So this is called making the network with the experts in the industry as well as in the academia. So this is one of the practice you should also do along with the first one. Then the third aspect is this third suggestion which I gave, continuously read the newspaper and magazines, because newspaper and magazine are something which gives you the latest information. Newspaper like the Economic Times and the Business Standard. So you can download the mobile app of any one or any two English financial newspapers and just read the important news or which gives you new keywords. So this is my session that continuously read newspapers and magazines because they will give you latest of the topics, provide you the latest information, identify the contemporary research problems, check the feasibility, do the literature review and bibliometric analysis of, and after that you can start in-depth research on these topics. So these are some of the basic analysis which you can start with. Once you decided the topic, you can start with bibliometric review, systematic review, meta review, scale review. All these review you can do basically for a research topic to identify that what work has been done इन टॉपिक पे ऑलरेडी क्या काम हो चुका है, ये जानने के लिए to know this what has been already done on these topics, you can do these analysis. Okay, so these are some of the research based findings that what are the different parameters on the basis of which you select new topics. I also make a list of the some of the topics which are very upcoming topics. So all these areas, all these topics are related to the social science. Some of the topics are related to the HR, some of the topics are related to the finance, and some of the topics are related to the marketing, psychology. So these are some of the topics which I am suggesting to you on the basis of my research. That these topics are futuristic topics, and you can select any one of them. Like personal branding, it is a marketing and HR topic. Brand fidelity, marketing technology, gamification, generative AI, open AI, machine learning, digital marketing, so startup entrepreneurship, business sustainability, noise trading, talent management, potential management, neuromarketing. So these are some of the topics which came in my mind, and on the basis of my last experience, I am suggesting you to can go select any of the topic from here. So a good topic gives you all these things. So when you do a research on one topic, spend 3 years on that topic, you will be area expert, but you have personal brand, long-term investment. So all these things we already discussed yesterday. So this session talks about the importance of selection of the new topic. And once you select it, you can you can consult me. If some topic you have already in your mind, you can send me that topic on the WhatsApp. And from my experience, I can suggest you that whether this topic will work for you in future or not. So this is the topic number one, which we are going to discuss, which in the session. Now I'm coming to the topic number two. So next half of the session will focuses on the technical aspect, that what is research gap, what is research questions, how to frame the objective of the research, what to do and what not to do on research objectives. Okay. So after finding a topic which is a relevant topic, which is contemporary topic, which have a citation potential, breakthrough topic. Breakthrough topic means which can build totally new topic, futuristic, feasible business idea, can be a business idea. So the first step is identifying the good research topic for the research. Then, so when anyone find out a good topic, then the basic bibliometric and systematic literature review is required. So I am not covering bibliometric and systematic review in this workshop. There is a separate workshop on that. But my suggestion is that once you identify a research topic, so think number one. पहली बात तो मैं आपको ये बता रहा हूँ कि एक बार आपने रिसर्च टॉपिक ढूंढ लिया तो आपकी उससे शादी हो जाती है. मतलब you cannot leave that topic in the next 5 years. So take research topic seriously. That kind of seriousness you must have. Once you took the research topic, don't leave it. So you have to continue with that topic in the next at least 5 years. Next 5 year तक वो topic आपको लेके चलना है. So that's why this is very important. Don't do this that you write one paper on financial inclusion, another paper on marketing, another paper on ERP, another paper on HR. ऐसा मत करना. So don't write papers on different topics. इससे आपकी बदनामी होगी. You will be defamed, right? Every top institute always like those researchers who published paper in one area. They never like that researcher who are publishing in different areas. So remember my words. Select good topic, stay with it. Don't change research topics frequently, right? So this is my session because I have seen many researchers, including me, who published in diversified topics, and in the last, they are the jack of all trade, master of none. So this kind of situation you will face. So well, after selecting the topic, you have to do a bibliometric and systematic review on that topic to have some detailed idea. Now, after that, you have to frame research gap. Now I am going to speak about the research gap. Once you identify the topic, you have to identify the research gap. So what is research gap and how to frame it? So now we are going to discuss on that. Now I'm showing you, this is one of the sample paper. So whenever you start writing a paper, जब भी आप पेपर लिखना शुरू करोगे, so you have to work on three aspects. Number one, why this research must be done. Why this research must be done. So you can see that the first paragraph of any research paper is focusing on that why this research must be done. You have a new topic. So first of all, you have to write on why this research must be done. The second paragraph from here to here. So this portion focuses on यहां से यहां तक. So this portion focuses on that what you are doing in this paper. आप क्या कर रहे हो? What you are doing in this paper. So explain your objective and contribution. So the objective of this paper is to this and this and this and what is your outcome. Our result are like that. So first क्या था? Why this research must be important? What you are doing in this research, and the third is what is your new contribution? आपने क्या नया दिया? What is your new contribution? So these three things you have to frame first of all. So I'm just explaining one more time. Whatever I said, I read here. So introduction of the paper must answer three questions. Number one, जब भी आप कोई research paper पढ़ोगे, whenever you are writing a research paper or whenever you are reading a research paper, you have to find out three things. Number one, why the research is required for the research issue. About 30 lines with literature support. So what is literature support? Actually, if you see, there are many literature support. There are many citation in the first paragraph. In first paragraph, there are at least 10 citation. In second paragraph, there is no citation. So why? If you observe, in the first paragraph, there are more than 10 citation. In the second paragraph, there is no citation. ये algebra का paper है A star का. So now I'm telling you the secret. The first paragraph is telling that why this research is important, and I'm not saying this. This is said by all these people. All these people are telling the importance of the topic. And in second paragraph, I am describing my works. So I am not citing anybody else. So this paragraph will explain your work. So the first paragraph is why the research is required for the research issue, and you have to write 30 lines with literature support. Why this study or why this study is required to fill the gap in knowledge that currently exists. This rule is not only for social science. This rule is for medical science, health science, geography, biology, any chemistry, any area. This rule is common for all type of papers. Second, now in second paragraph, you have seen explain what you are doing in this research paper, about 20 lines to achieve the objective of the research. भाई आपने क्या किया? What you are doing to fulfill the objective of the research, right? So this is the second paragraph of your research paper. The third is how the research gap is fulfilled, how your paper is different from the exist. भाई आपने नया क्या किया? What new you have done? What new contribution you came out? Right. So in the third paragraph, you have to explain that how your paper is different from the existing literature. What are the main contribution of the research paper? So three things you need to explain in the research introduction. So any paper, if you've seen in your life, these three components must be there whenever you are writing the introduction of any paper. And only this portion will decide whether your paper is rejected by the reviewer, not reviewer, editor, or it is desk rejected. If the three paragraphs are solid, carefully written, the probability of desk rejection come to large extent. आपके पेपर के रिजेक्शन, डेस्क रिजेक्शन के चांसेस बहुत कम हो जाएंगे इफ यू फोकस ऑन दीज थ्री एस्पेक्ट. Number one, topic selection. Number two, why this topic is important, why research on this topic is important, what you are doing in this research paper, and what is your new contribution. So this new contribution, whatever new you are giving, is known as research gap. तो जो भी आपने नया दिया, नया नया जो भी आपने नया दिया, न्यू, इज कॉल्ड रिसर्च गैप. रिसर्च गैप. So again, the continuation in the first slide. So I just explaining what need to be included in the introduction. So background information about the topic being studied, rationale for understanding this study, key references, and all of these references must be in the last 5 years. If you are writing a paper in 2024, don't give the reference of 2001 to, no. Maximum reference come from the last 5 years. So latest highly rated research papers, latest reports. In introduction, sometimes you need to clarify the important terms, definitions, abbreviations to be used in the paper, contribution of your paper, and the differentiation strategy. Differentiation strategy actually is very important because if you see the third paragraph, our study differs from the previous one in several respects. Our study differ from the previous one in several respects. हम क्या करेंगे, हमारा पेपर existing paper से कैसे different है. So basically you are following the differentiation approach that my paper is different from the existing literature in terms of now in terms of क्या. So I find out the in terms of को क्या लिखना है. In terms of evidence gap, in terms of knowledge gap, in terms of practical knowledge gap, in terms of methodological gap, in terms of empirical gap, in terms of theoretical gap, or population gap. So all these gaps must be the examples of research gap. Your research gap may be in any of them. Evidence gap means suppose you are applying some new hypothesis testing procedure, it means you are getting better evidence as compared to existing one. So this is called evidence gap, right? Evidence gap means evidence मतलब क्या होता है, देखिए, whenever you apply a statistical test on the hypothesis, the test itself is the way to get the evidence. जो statistical test हम लगाते हैं वो evidence का काम करता है. Suppose somebody applied regression earlier, now you are applying SAM. So it means you are getting the evidence in a new format. So sometimes by doing some new statistical test give you better evidence. So that is called evidence gap. Knowledge gap means you are adding some new knowledge. It may be possible that you bring some new information, new knowledge, new factor, new conclusion. So anything which you add in the existing knowledge is called knowledge gap. Practical knowledge gap matlab your knowledge is applicable by doctors, marketers, businessmen, entrepreneurs. Whatever knowledge you are giving, it is a new knowledge for the practitioners. So this is called practical knowledge gap. Methodological gap. Sometimes you apply some new methodology in terms of experimental design. Methodology gap, normally, you know that there are many experimental designs. So we will discuss all these designs in some next other session. So, or in you are applying some new technical technique on the data, because suppose you are having some time series data, panel data, cross section data, and you are applying some new methodology, anything in the new methodology, new technique, or so it is a methodological gap. Empirical gap, somebody has done in theoretical way, you are doing in empirical way. Empirical way means you are proving your hypothesis with the help of empirical data, empirical analysis. अभी तक ये empirical testing किसी ने नहीं करी, आपने कर दिया. So this is a empirical gap. Theoretical gap, you are creating some new theory. Population gap, you are applying the theory on a new product, on a new population, on a new area. This could be a population gap. So all these gaps in terms of methodology, in terms of, you have to think that what new I'm doing, right? So still you have to mention this gap in the third paragraph, that is called research gap. So ये जो तीसरा पैराग्राफ है, the third paragraph of this introduction part, in this paragraph it must convince the editor that you are doing something new. Because if you are not able to say express that I'm doing something new, your paper will not be accepted. So every researcher must know how to define this research gap. So this research gap is very important, because without defining research gap, I think no PhD, no paper must be passed or published. So the third is how the research gap is fulfilled and how your paper is different from the existing literature, and what are the main contribution of the research paper. So you have to focus on these aspects. So I already discussed this. So research gap. So again, I find out some important words of defining the research gap: the need, the importance, the urgency, the necessity. Why, what new things you have done in the paper? What is the need, the importance, the urgency of necessity of the proposed paper? Right. So something new you are doing because there is a need of doing that. आपने कुछ नया किया क्योंकि उसकी जरूरत थी. So you have to write in that way. Research problem that not has been answered in the area of specialization. So whatever new you have added was not done by others. So every research paper must have well-defined research gap. So it is mentioned somewhere that problem with many masters and doctoral students, that they simply start with the research objective and thought it is already the research gap. No. Master and doctoral student just copied or patterned their thesis or dissertation on previous researches. So, देखिए, why I am focusing on this topic more and more, because यही वो point है. This is the only point where you differentiate your paper from others. मैं आपको एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ, जो मैं काफी लोगों को एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ. ये सपोज यू हैव मनी एंड यू वांट टू स्टार्ट ए बिजनेस, and you found that everybody who is selling ice cream in my neighborhood, they are making profit. So you are motivated and also started selling ice cream. तो क्या हुआ कि आप वही काम कर रहे हो जो बाकी कर रहे हैं, and others are also making normal profit, and you are also making normal profit. So there is nothing new. If you want to succeed, then you have to do some innovation in the product, innovation in the topic. So आप आइसक्रीम में चाहे क्रीम हटा दो, you आइसक्रीम में कुछ ग्रीन आइसक्रीम कर दो उसको. So you have to do something new and sell it, right? So differentiation strategy is very important, that what new you have done. So this is the called research gap. So these are the different points which you can focus in the research paper. So research gap type. So these are the different type of research gap. After defining the research gap, so why it is important to identify the research gap? Because it avoid revision. It makes your paper publishable. It is expressed as, it is marketed as unique or original research, and you are getting into depth, so deep knowledge of the topic. Now the somewhere I found this, how to identify the research gap. So 3 points suggested by the person, that so number one, the topic is something which you have passionate about. टॉपिक ऐसा होना चाहिए जिसमें आपको पैशन हो, नंबर वन. Then determine the mega trends, determine the new things, new happenings, new changes in that topic, because everything new which you are doing is a research gap. So determine the mega trends or recent debates on the topic, review recent literature, and after reviewing the literature, recent literature, identify something new which you can add in that. So that is research gap. Now, research gap is followed by research questions. Recently, I found that most of the research papers have research questions. In the second paragraph, where you are explaining your objective, you can write any two research question. So what is research question? Research question is that question which you are going to answer in the conclusion. So there's a new trend that if in your paper, if you write two research questions, so at least editor, right? The journal where you want to send your paper for publication, the editor of that journal came to know that what questions you are going to answer in the conclusion part. किन सवालों के आपने आंसर आपने दिए हैं. So that give a new impact. A different kind of impact will have on the editor. So my suggestion is that you can add two research questions in the thesis or the paper, so which you are going to answer in the research. Then after that, I found this is my observation. Most of the researchers make wrong objectives. Objectives are something which are actually wrong. There are so many researchers in the first 3 years, they don't know that they made the wrong objective. पहले 3 साल तक तो उनको पता ही नहीं चलता कि हमारे ऑब्जेक्टिव गलत है. So when they want to start the real PhD, collection of the data, analysis of part, they came to know that our objective is wrong. So then they have a problem that how to now what to do, because we framed the wrong objectives, what to do now. And the biggest problem is that maximum research scholar को तो पता ही नहीं होता कि हमारे objective गलत है. So I make some conclusion on the objectives. And believe me, if the research objective in your research paper or the thesis is well framed, your half problem is gone. Well-defined research objective means half of the problem is already gone. So that's why you must be very, very careful in framing these research objectives. Okay, number one. Number two, there are always two type of objectives in the thesis. One is called main objective and sub-objective. So like in this example, first of all, you have to explain your main objective. This is your main objective. And the main objective is achieved by three or four sub-objectives. Problem is that when researchers say that my thesis have four objectives, no, it is actually wrong sentence. Every thesis, every paper must have only one main objective. That main objective can be broken down into sub-objective. That is fine. If you say the main objective of my paper is this, and this main objective is achieved by these four sub-objectives. So this is the correct sentence. But when you say my thesis is having four objectives, it is the wrong sentence. So there is a primary objective, which is the main objective, and there is a secondary objective, which is the sub-objective. So don't say that my thesis have four objectives, my paper has two objectives. No, objective is always one, which is called primary objective. That primary objective can be divided into 2, 3, 4 as per your choice. And my suggestion is that, so whenever you write a paper or a thesis, don't use the word explore, understand, identify. This is not the job of the researcher to explore, to understand, to identify. ये आपका काम नहीं होता. This is the work of literature review. So these three words can be answered from the literature review. So don't use the word explore. Researcher explore nahi karta hai. So don't use the word understand. You are not writing a book to identify. No. So whenever these three words are only possible with qualitative research. If you are doing either qualitative research or systematic literature review, up to that, you can write these three words, but otherwise don't write any of the three words in the research objectives. Whether you are writing a paper or whether you are writing a thesis, my suggestion is that don't use three words unless and until you are doing qualitative research. Rather, you should use the word to study, to examine, to investigate. So these are the correct words which actually I found in many research papers. Whenever they write the objectives, they use these words to examine, to investigate, to study. They never use the words explore, understand, and identify. No. Third point, don't write the name of the city and the state in the paper, especially because suppose somebody write the paper that the social media usage in Bareilly in UP, right, or in Ludhiana, Punjab. Now the problem is that when you send your paper in a foreign journal, तो उसको ये नहीं पता कि लुधियाना क्या है. Right? Nobody knows Ludhiana in US, Europe. If anybody is in Europe, you are sending your paper in Europe or US or Canada, don't expect that the editor knows Ludhiana very well, Bareilly very well. तो लोग क्या गलती करते हैं? Ludhiana, Punjab, Patiala, don't write this city. So I strongly say no to write the name of the city and the state in the objective. And one of the foreign editor told me that whenever we see Indian city name in the paper, we straight away reject the paper because we don't want paper on the local problems. We want paper on the global problems. So I said that I read especially the objective must be a global. Like whenever we are talking about artificial intelligence, it is a global problem. whenever we are saying that gamification, it is a global problem. And the moment you say the application of gamification in Patiala means you are working on a local problem. So it will not be appreciated by anybody in the other country. So don't write the name. I never seen any paper in good journal that this paper is on New York City. The problem in Paris, शहर का नाम कभी नहीं आता है. So, and this is very common in Maharashtra. I found that in Maharashtra, half of the students write Mumbai, Pune. I don't know why. In Punjab, Haryana, they write the name of the city, the name of the state. So don't do that. In PhD, you can do that, but in paper, it will not accept it. The objective must be global with data, or even I suggest in complete introduction page, don't write India, even India. Because the moment you write a name of the country, so the problem is a local problem. The paper is a local paper. So don't make the local paper. Your view must be a global view. See, the objective must be global with data collection from local population. Population sample is local, that is fine. आपका sample local हो सकता है, problem globally होगी. So try to understand that. Every research paper usually have one objective. Research paper की बात कर रहे हैं. Every research paper usually have one objective, and thesis one main objective and 3 or 4 sub-objective. Every research objective must be achieved by data and some statistical test, and there must be some hypothesis related to the objective. हर ऑब्जेक्टिव का कोई ना कोई हाइपोथेसिस होना चाहिए. And because if every objective must have hypothesis, you have a statistical conclusion from the data. The exception is qualitative research. If you are doing qualitative research, this will not be applicable. But in case of empirical research, every objective must have a statistical test, hypothesis, and conclusion. So these are the some do and don'ts which I want to communicate. And all these things come from my experience on why people got the revisions from their PhD, why people got revision from their research paper. So all the information comes from there. And these are some of the suggestions. So this session discuss about the importance of the research topics, how to find out the research topic, and how to find out the research gap, what are the different type of research gap, what you should do in the framing of research objectives, and do and don'ts. So from my side, the session is over. And if you have any query, you can ask. Give me a minute before that.